Welcome back to Grammar Fundamentals for the SAT. This is Chapter 5, Lesson 40, the last lesson on verbs. Beyond tense and voice, every verb also has a mood, the attitude it takes. Let's meet all three. Every verb has a mood, and there are three. The mood shows the attitude behind the verb. The indicative simply states a fact or asks a question. She plays it, by far the most common. The imperative gives a command or a request. Play it. And the subjunctive expresses something unreal or formal, a wish, a demand, or a what if she were here. Stating, ordering, or supposing. That's the three moods. Two of the moods are easy. The indicative just makes a statement. She picks up the flute. Plain fact, that's indicative. The imperative turns it into a command or request. Pick up the flute. Notice there's no stated subject. In a command, the subject you is simply understood. You pick up the flute, but we drop the you. So a statement is indicative, and a command with you understood is imperative. Now the tricky one, the subjunctive, which shows up in two situations. The first, after a verb of demand, recommendation, or necessity, you use the base form. It is essential that the law be changed. Not is changed, but be changed, the plain base form. Trigger words like ask, demand, insist, suggest, or phrases like it is essential that, all call for this base form. So a demand or a necessity takes the base form. The second subjunctive is the one the SAT loves, a wish or a condition contrary to fact. If she were here, she would help. She isn't here. It's purely hypothetical, so the verb is were, not was, even though she is singular. The same trap appears with wishes. I wish I were taller, not was. Whenever a situation is imaginary or untrue, choose were, never was. On the test, the subjunctive hides in two predictable spots. 1. After a demand or request with that, use the base form. I suggest that he be on time, not is on time. 2. After if or wish for something untrue, use were or the past tense. I wish I were done. So whenever you see a demand with that or an unreal if, switch into the subjunctive and you'll nail these questions. Let's practice. For each sentence, decide whether the verb is indicative, imperative, or subjunctive. Look for a plain statement, a command, or an unreal or formal demand. Pause and try each. Lincoln spoke eloquently at Gettysburg. Spoke simply states a fact, so it's indicative. Next, fry the onions and garlic in olive oil. Fry is a command to the reader with you understood, so it's imperative. Is it necessary that I be here tomorrow morning? After it is necessary that, the base form be expresses necessity, so it's subjunctive. Now choose the correct form for the mood the sentence calls for. Watch for that clauses after demands and unreal if or wish. Pause and try each. He usually blank a long time at the store. It's a plain statement, so use the indicative present, takes. If he blank the movie, he would say so. This is a condition contrary to fact after if, so the subjunctive uses the past, liked. Please blank your room before Saturday. It's a polite request, a command, so use the imperative base form, clean. Let's wrap up Chapter 5. Verbs have three moods. The indicative states facts and asks questions. That's most of what we say. The imperative gives commands and requests, with you understood as the subject. And the subjunctive, the SAT's favorite, appears in formal English. The base form after a demand or necessity, that the law be changed, and were, or the past tense, for wishes and conditions contrary to fact, if she were here. Spot the demand with that, or the unreal if, and reach for the subjunctive. Congratulations! That completes Chapter 5 on verbs. In Lesson 41, we'll begin Chapter 6, Subject-Verb Agreement.